So with Counterstrain, the best way to think about it is that we're clearing out the inflammatory fallout from past inflammatory events. So, like to use an dramatic example, like a football player who's had a bunch of concussions, like that's going to be a different case than, I don't know, like a 6-year-old who falls off their bike and hits their head. The more inflammatory events you've had, the more inflammation generally will be stuck. If you overproduce inflammation, there are genes that cause people to kind of react in a really strong way to inflammation, and they create more inflammation than they might need. That, like, those people tend to need more work before they feel better. If we find enough inflammation and drain it out, there can be a certain amount of work that we have to do before we reach a tipping point where the nervous system and the body as a whole like gets to a place below the amount of inflammation that would be enough to trigger the pain or the dysfunction or the issue. There are two windows though being for recovery. Like there's the 24 to 36 hour period, like a day and a half after the work, where the inflammation's draining out better. But then there's also, if something's been congested for 20 or 30 years, like say the inflammation's been stuck in there, say you played football in high school and now you're 50 and your memory isn't as good as it could be and you're foggy and maybe your hormones are affected, any of those things. Like if that inflammation's been stuck in there for 20, 30 years, there can be like a 2 or 3 month kind of healing process that has to happen. And this is where like the rehab exercise, like the rehab type of work, activating the neurons, activating things can work a lot better.